Tell me, are you building something on Substack right now? A newsletter, a little community, or your own corner on the internet streets? Then you are going to love, 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 love this because Substack just dropped a brand new feature. And honestly, it might be one of the most useful things they've added all year. It's called Reply Rules. And here's the simple version. It lets you decide, let me share my screen, in your own words, what kind of conversation happens in your space. And then it actually helps keep it that way automatically. Your house, your rules, as Miles from Substack said. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking because one community member already put it perfectly and said something like, with every new innovation, my head's about to explode. I can barely process all of it. I hear you. There's a lot of new stuff on Substack lately, but here's the good news. This is one of the good ones. It's simple. It's completely optional. And once you get it, it makes your life easier, not harder. I think the part where I tell you that you can, toggle it on or toggle it off, this is like the best, Similar to all the other features, you can at any time say, you know what, I just want to write and send my newsletter. But if you're going to say, you know what, Christina, I want to do more, I want to go beyond this, totally fine. So stick with me because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what Reply Rules does, how to turn it on in about like a minute, the surprisingly smart idea behind it, and what other writers are already doing with it. So let's get into it, my friend. Maybe some background information if you haven't been following me for a while. I'm a top 15 author on Substack. I run this part-time with 2 kids in the house. I've got 18,000 subscribers, 34,000 readers, and I'm earning around $4,000 to $8,000 a month from my Substack and subscriptions. I say that really not to flex. I say it so you know that when I break down a feature, it's from someone actually living in this thing right now every day. And if you're just starting out and all of this feels overwhelming, that's exactly what my Substack for Beginners course is for. Let me show you how it looks like. This is how it looks like. And the best part of it, it's completely free and it walks you through everything about Substack from zero. So join us. Link is in the show notes and come learn it all with us. The next live session is about to start, which is the best. And when we're talking now about the reply rules, the idea of it is really that it's basically a custom automatic moderation tool for your comments. You, as the writer, write a little summary in your own words of what you want your comment section to be, and anybody about to reply to you, whether that's in comments on a post, replies to a note, or in chat, they see those rules before they hit send. So let me, for instance, give you an example from the Online Writing Club. So for instance, you can't see this because I'm, of course, like the owner of this publication, but I would, for instance, pick something here, maybe this one, with Jeremy, and then people would be replying here. And if, for instance, Kat would like to leave a comment, then you would then see, the Online Writing Club reply rules. Online Writing Club reply rules are included here, which is cool, I think. This is really cool because then I know exactly, oh, wait a sec. Is this now the time to reply or not the way I want to reply? I think the most important thing is to welcome people and not to oh my God, I won't leave a reply because of these reply rules. So it applies to what you saw with the post in the comments, to notes, which is the social media feed on Substack, and chat, which is the exclusive community on Substack. They see those rules before they hit send all your readers. And the examples are great because they show the range. You can do the sensible stuff like no AI slop, stay on topic, no profanity, or you can do the fun stuff. And I want to show you these right now so you can get a better feeling for this. As I showed you here, you can see, for instance, Beth saying, when in doubt, do the friendliest thing. Sherry is saying, reply in good faith. Bad takes are forgivable. Lazy ones are not. Stay on topic. Be kind, or at least careful. No self-promo, blah, blah. And Ministry of Pop, in this newsletter, we believe science is real, reboots are bad, and so on, so on. And so you're going to see there's lots of no AI slop, stay on topic, no profanity. Or you can also do the fun stuff. This is something that I think we can see with TechCrunch. So TechCrunch was also reporting this. And they, for instance, where he is saying, Melissa, please reply in haiku when possible. So you can also, for instance, if you want to do like some fun stuff, Grace is saying, thank you for being a part of the conversation. Be nice. No self-promo, no affiliates, no AI slop, no slurs, no contextless self-promo, something like this. Yeah, it's, let's say there's a lot, there is an overlap, okay? There are some things that all of us, that we all want, okay? And then also Mashable was reporting on it. So if you want to like find some more information about this all, you can then, for instance, check out TechCrunch and Mashable as well. But again, you can share limericks, whatever you want. Haiku, like that's your thing. You're allowed to do now, which I think is cool. And I love that because it tells you the whole spirit of this feature. It's not, here's the official moderation policy. It's, this is your space. Be weird with it. Okay, totally fine. But these are also like the boundaries, and it's very important to like share this with the community. Now, here's the part people are going to misunderstand. So pay attention, okay? Because compliance is not an honor system. There is a learning system underneath this. Every time you hide a reply you don't like, the system watches. So let me go back to the online writing club to show you this. So we saw that, for instance, if in the future Kat would have liked to reply, she would see this here. Yeah. We have like this learning system also here for the readers. They know exactly, okay, for instance, I want to share some self-promo. I'm going to go with ASLOP, like, this is the best, can't stop reading, you know what I mean? Oh, AI slop. And they're gonna stop this, except it's a bot that's like come into your newsletter all the time. But of course we don't want this, and we could report this. So we have this learning system. Every time you hide a reply you don't like, the system watches, and over time it starts preemptively hiding replies it thinks you would have hidden before you even see them. So for instance, I could then go here, click on Cat, and then I could, for instance, say, you know what, I want to delete this, I want to report this, I think I need to ban or suspend this reader here as well. I could also see the subscriber details to find out more about this writer, maybe about her background, to see, is it fine or not. So two things really I want to flag, because they really matter. Okay, so number one, it hides, it doesn't delete. So hidden comments don't vanish, they sit behind a little replies hidden label. You can go into review them and then unhide anything the system got wrong. And this is the clever bit: when you unhide something, that teaches the system to hide, unhide, delete. It learns from all of it and gets less likely to make the same mistake. So nothing's permanent unless you make it permanent. That lowered my blood pressure, to be honest. And number two is, not everyone gets filtered. Your paid subscribers, the people you follow, and your contributors, they are exempt. So you can see, for instance, here Kat, and you see, for instance, Kat is a paid subscriber. So for instance, Kat, she has like the VIP, she has like the red carpet, she can reply, and she can share whatever she wants. For instance, Jeremy as well, Casey, for instance, or Istiak, for instance, they seem to be like new. They seem to be maybe free subscribers or casual readers, and they, for instance, could be caught then in the net, get caught in the net. But the others, they don't get caught in the net, which I love. Unless you have deleted their comments before, in which case, the system remembers that too, of course. And soon, supposedly, the system will read the rules you write and use those as guidance as well, not just your behavior. So you say what you want in plain English, and it tries to honor it. Right now, it's mostly learning from your actions, with the rule reading part coming. Before we get into the why, I want to show you now, of course, how to access this, because it's so quick. You can literally pause this video, go do it, and come back. It's available right now for any English language publication. So when you're, for instance, auch jemand aus Deutschland da ist und sich das anhört, someone from Germany, for instance, we have no German language publications yet, or Spanish or French publications yet. But of course, this is something that Substack is going to roll out. So it's amazing to hear about this, of course. So what would I need to do? So the first thing we would do is we would go, and for this I need to share my screen so that I don't forget to share my screen with you. So I would go on the onlinewritingclub.com. I would go here, and this is the starting point. Then I would like to go to the publication settings page. So I would click on dashboard. From my dashboard, it would bring me here. It would bring me here to in my settings at the bottom. I would come to the settings. I could then scroll down. I could, for instance, go with community to find the community section. Let me go with community, or I would simply scroll down. From here, what I did already was that I enabled the automatic moderation. So this would mean I can toggle this on or toggle this off. It filters replies based on your moderation activity over time. And you see also that in the past, I could, for instance, say, you know what? I would like to, because again, it's like my house, my rules. I would like to enable comments, likes, and restacks, or I would say, no, I don't want to see any comments, likes, or restacks. Restacks would be sharing. Of course, I would enable this, except there would be something holding me back. But yeah, I want to see the comments. I want to see the engagements, and I want to see the likes, and I want to see if people are sharing this, and I want to give them the ability to engage with my content and with me. Then I could also say, you know what? I want to allow readers to report content to you or other admins. So this is something that I toggled on as well. And I can review user bans from commenting or subscribing. And I can review comments and chat messages reported by my community. And this is now the new one. But let me show you the bans, for instance. This is how the bans look like. Maybe we're going to just pick this one here. If you want to ban someone, yeah, sometimes people even like need to upload a whole CSV file. Hopefully you don't need to do this, but yeah, you can do this. Then you can say, you know what? I want to ban from commenting, subscribing, or both. You can say, I want to do this for 1 day, 30, 90, a year, or forever. And you can see this, for instance, with Ali Reza. Ali Reza is here. Start was 127 days ago and is in no matter how many days. And start is he's banned. He's banned from the On-Writing Club. He did something very cruel. And then if you're going to go back to the reported comment, which we can now moderate, you're going to see that people reported stuff. You're going to see reported. So these comments and chat messages were reported by readers who felt they might be inappropriate. And this content will remain visible until you choose to remove it. So what I can do, for instance, Paul, here, be careful and validate this offer. So I could say I would like to remove this. I can also go on see thread, and then I could go into the thread. And then there is something about Bob. I would also say I want to remove this. Away my MacBook Air. Yeah, you have to remove this. This is very important because often people think that there is nothing else to do, but you have to go into this because you are the actual moderator and you have to moderate your space. And now this is why this is so cool now. It somehow supports us. So I said, you know what, filter replies based on your moderation activity over time. So I would click here and turn on the toggle. And then I added the reply rules. Let me zoom in so you can see this. So in the reply rules text box, type out your community standards in plain language as I did, whatever you want, okay? And then you're gonna hit save and that's it. 5 steps, it takes about a minute and you please don't overthink the wording, okay? I'll show you the exact rule I wrote for my own club and you see it's basically just a friendly little paragraph, okay? One heads up, if you have moderated comments before, like if you've deleted stuff and flagged it as spam or slop, the automatic hiding might already be switched on for your publication, so go check. To turn it off, slide that toggle back left, and if you want to ditch the rules entirely, just delete the text and save. Done. Again, no commitment. Yeah, and now I think that's it's running. Here's where it gets generally interesting to me, and it's thanks to Miles Baker. Let me go to Miles. Let me see where Miles is. This is the one note from Miles Baker. So here it is. Miles, I think it's Miles Baker, the guy at Substack who built a lot of the thinking here. He wrote a note about it and a couple of his lines really stuck with me. So this is why I wanted to share this with you. First, he said he originally wanted to call these house rules. I wanted to call them house rules because almost no one disputes that within your house, your rules should obtain. So this is the one. And I think the reasoning is great because, when you're inviting someone to your house, would there anyone be who would start fighting endlessly about the rules? Or would there be someone like endlessly fighting about what rules a city or a country should have? Yeah, you know? So it's your space. Most of us think it's totally fair for you to set the vibe and expect people to respect it. And that's the whole philosophy of Substack in one idea. It's not one giant shared room where the loudest dynamics win. It is really like a million little houses. And in these little houses, we have these house rules. But the line that actually made me stop was this one. Baker said that the whole time he's worked on platforms, there's been this constant tension. People want control, but people do not want controls. This is the ones. Since I started working on platforms, one of the persistent realities is exactly this. So read that again, okay? People want control, but people don't want controls. We all want our space to feel like ours, but nobody wants to sit there toggling 1,000 sliders and learning some complicated moderation dashboard. That's the problem this is trying to solve. So instead of dials and buttons, you just write what you want, moderate how you'd normally moderate, and the system tries to, in his words, do as you do. That's the pitch. You don't manage settings, you just be yourself and it adapts. And honestly, my favorite part of his whole note is the very end, where he reminds everyone this is completely optional. You never have to turn it on. This one here. You never have to turn it on. His exact words, and I'm not, I'm just taking here what he's saying because I think this is the best. You don't have to use this now or ever. Feel free to tell the clankers to pound sand. This is what he's saying. Okay. So telling the AI to pound sand from the guy who built the AI feature. That's the idea. Okay. I want from a platform. Yeah. Okay. So again, the idea, your house, your roots is exactly how I wrote mine. So let us go back to mine and see where this is now. Here it is. So I went with the one from Miles, and I think this is good with the house because I always say we're building this house, this real estate on the internet streets, and then we're making this our home on the internet with Substack, as Substack is offering us so much with video, with text posts, with podcasting, with Substack TV, your community features. We have notes, everything is built in one platform without me being an affiliate. Yeah. So, and also, in Germany, no one really knows about Substack, but it's amazing to talk about this and here sharing this on an educational level with this amazing international audience. So I leaned all the way into the house thing, the rule and the house thing. So I say quick house rules, welcome in, make yourself at home, right like you mean it. Be kind, be useful, be interesting, pick at least one, wipe your feet on the way in, no AI slop, no spam, no great posts, drive-bys, self-promo only if it adds something to the room, disagree all you want, just don't track mud on the carpet, that's it, doors open, come on in my friend. And the reason I wrote it like that goes straight back to what Baker said. The point of reply rules isn't to build a courtroom with a giant rulebook. It is really to set the vibe of a room. So I made it sound like a room. Make yourself at home. Wipe your feet. Don't track mud on the carpet. I'm telling people exactly what I want. No AI slop, no spam, no drive-by comments. Be generous. But it reads like a welcome mat, not a bouncer. That is the whole house rules idea in action. I'm not running a city or a country. I'm running my little house. And inside my house, this is just how we treat each other. Most people don't argue with that. They just wipe their feet and come in. And here's the part I love most because the system learns from what I hide and unhide. That one friendly paragraph plus my normal moderation is basically all I need. No 50 settings, no dashboard. I describe my house really, and it does the rest. That's do as you do, working exactly like it's supposed to. When we're not talking about comments, I want to zoom out for a second because it's easy to think of comment moderation as this annoying chore you have to do. Clean out the spam, block the trolls, move on. But one of my favorite writers on Substack is, or my favorite writers when it comes to sharing what community actually means, is George Sanders. Let me go there and see. I think Hamish was. This is the one with Hamish. Yeah, this is the one with Hamish. So he wrote something about his community story club that completely reframed it for me. Okay, so what he was saying, he went back and reread everything he'd published, and he realized that the essays weren't the point. He called his comment section a living, breathing, evolving community, and said the comments are what widen the whole thing, take it in directions he never planned. And then he said the thing that I think is the real reason any of this matters. He described the goal as practicing a kind of conversation where you don't show up saying, I thought this and I am right. You show up saying, I thought this, am I right? So this is cool. And that tiny difference from a statement to a question, that's the entire difference between a comment section that's a war zone and one that's actually alive. So that's the real stakes here. Reply rules isn't just a spam filter for me. If it works, it's a tool for protecting that the rare, fragile thing where people with strong opinions can actually talk to each other and stay human about it. And when we're now looking into what others are saying, then real writers are already using it. Substack's own announcement showed these reply rules. And maybe you can dive into this a bit deeper. Let me go to introduction. So here we have it. Here, what others are doing. Okay, so we can see how others, for instance, are replying to this best. Who else do we have? Sherry and all the others. This is already out in the wild. It's not some beta nobody touches. They are using this. And when you look at the rules people are writing, they are refreshingly human. Some are practical, like stuff like no AI slop, no slurs, no self-promo. Some are just warm, be nice, no spam, no affiliate links. You don't need a legal degree. You need one honest sentence, My personal favorite is Melissa. I showed you this. I think this was in TechCrunch. The TechCrunch thing. Here in TechCrunch it was. She asked people to reply in haiku. That's the whole spirit right there. Reply rules isn't about locking your comments down. It's about making your space feel unmistakably you. This is the idea. So that is reply rules. Yeah, it's one more new thing in a year that's been absolutely stuffed with new things. But this is one of the rare ones where the idea underneath is actually thoughtful. Give people control without making them babysit a control panel. Let them be themselves in their own house on their own terms. Whether it lives up to that, we'll see. This is the question, that's generally the honest question here, of course. And listen, if you are new to all this and you want to actually understand Substack instead of just being overwhelmed by it, come join my Substack for Beginners course. It's included in my membership and it's totally free and it covers everything from setting up your publication to growing it. Join us, the link's right down below. If you have already turned it on, I want to hear from you. Drop your weirdest, most specific reply rules in the comments and bonus points if it is in haiku. And if this broke it down in a way that actually made sense, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Tschüss!